MLMs are not a disruptor. They've been around since the 1800s. This is not like a new technology, a new business model. This is the oldest trick in the book for making money for a few people. This is ridiculous.
Hello and welcome to Maggie Mumbles. My name is Maggie, and on this channel I mumble about witchcraft, spirituality, and personal development. Today I am going to be reacting to a video about Purium, which is an MLM. The video is called, "Is Purium a Pyramid Scheme?"
It's a reverse funnel system.
I'll be paying particular attention to the language that these two people have chosen to sell their product within their MLM business structure. They are spiritual people, and they talk about their product as being spiritual in its own way in other videos that I've seen. So let's see if they continue that theme in this video. It's actually an older video, but it is the most popular one on their channel, so I wanted to start there. If you want to see other videos about witchcraft, spirituality, and personal development, then please make sure that you're subscribed to this channel and hit the bell for notifications. I'd also really appreciate it if you would like this video, if you do in fact like it. All right, let's see what they have to say.
Okay. Spooky pyramids. So just to begin with, to clarify that we are currently enrolled in an MLM in network marketing. So just to make it clear that we have an unbiased opinion of this subject, is that we both were very reluctant in the beginning to join one. We had our doubts, we had misconceptions, which we want to share with you. We'll get into the details of that, but basically it's like
saying that you were reluctant to join the MLM in the beginning as a way to prove that you're unbiased about your current company is not really making the point that you think it's making.
That's not how it works.
No matter how you slice it, if you are in an MLM, you have an incentive to sell both your product and the business opportunity.
What did I tell you about finger quotes? Not to do them.
Your incentive is that you're paid for those things. The greater proportion of the amount of money that you make is going to be through recruiting more people into your downline than the amount of money that you make from sales commissions. But either way, you're making money off of the MLM, selling the products and recruiting people. So it doesn't really matter if you were reluctant to join an MLM before joining. You're biased because you belong to the MLM.
The reason that we want to clarify this is because we're met with a lot of resistance from people who have misconceptions about what an MLM is and what it could do for them and how it's going to change the world.
Yeah, because as a structure, it can be applied to like so many varying different businesses. And we get a lot of, not just like, I don't feel the resistance maybe just towards me, but I mean, I just hear it, I see it everywhere. People just sweeping it all in one.
Yeah, and if you look online, there's like two broad camps of like, MLMs are all scams, they're all going to fuck you over. And then there's ones that are like, it's going to change your life, it's amazing, it's going to change the way the world works.
Let's look at who is saying those two arguments, because yes, it is very polar. You either are in the camp of all MLMs are scams, or you're in the camps of it's going to change your life. So let's look at the source of who is saying those two things. People who are saying that it's a scam are, in a lot of cases, people who have been in MLMs and were scammed, felt scammed, lost a lot of money. And more than just losing the money, a lot of times people talk about the poor mental health that being in an MLM creates. So there's that camp. And then another source of people in that side of this debate are people like me who have never been in an MLM, but who have observed the harmful things that happen to people who join them, who listen to experts like Stephen Hassan, who is an expert in cults and has made statements about his observation of MLMs and his belief that they are commercial cults. Experts like Robert Fitzpatrick, who wrote the book Ponzinomics, which is about the history of Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes, and MLMs, and how, in his opinion, MLMs are pyramid schemes. And sources like the FTC, which states that people who join MLMs are 99% likely to lose money or not make any money when they join an MLM. So that's one camp. And then if we look at the source of the other camp that he's referring to, the people who say that MLMs are life-changing and it's amazing and you're going to love it, those are often people who are in the MLM. And as I was saying before, those are people who have something to gain from talking about the MLM in a positive light. People who will make money from recruiting people and people who will make money from selling their products. So the incentive to talk about it in a positive light is monetary, and the incentive to talk about it in a negative light is not monetary. So if you ask me, and maybe I'm biased because I'm in this camp, the people who are in the MLMs or scams and talk about it in a negative light have a more altruistic intention, because there's no like muddying the water with, I'm getting paid to talk about this. And of course, you could argue that there are some people who do talk about MLMs in a negative light and do make money through making the YouTube videos where YouTube pays you. But for channels that do make money off of their YouTube videos that talk about MLMs and reveal the predatory business practices that a lot of people in MLMs do, they're not making money directly from the people who are watching the video. Yes, they're making money from the attention, the time that people are spending watching those videos, but compare that to a person who's trying to get somebody to join their MLM. They are making money directly from the person who they're talking to. So I don't know if I articulated that well. I guess I just want to say, consider the source and what the incentive is for talking about these things in these different ways.
So I had to fall in love first with the products. I wasn't out looking for an MLM to get involved with. And that was actually probably when I learned it was an MLM, I did have the resistance initially and said, I was approached by a lot, of MLMs. You weren't really approached as much, but I was approached, and I had like my reaction, my knee-jerk reaction is just, as soon as I find out you're an MLM, get away from me. Like, right.
And a lot of people are online and in person. They're really reluctant. They're just like, "Oh, what is this? Like, why are you selling me something?" And
I wonder why that is. Why do we think that so many people are reluctant to get involved with an MLM? Is it because 99% of people are actually going to not make money or lose money when they join? Is it because the products can be found in better, less expensive forms from other companies that aren't MLMs?
How is this not a pyramid scheme?
I wonder why it is that so many people, when approached with an MLM product or sales pitch, are reluctant to even hear you out.
The way we align with this one is like the approach is sharing, and it's not salesy at all. So like maybe let's give a background to our work experience just to show like our path here. So I work as like an editor and designer for like the past like 15 years, 20 years almost. So it's like I've experienced working in a corporate environment, in an office. I've done freelance work, working with clients individually or within a team, contract-based work. When I was working in an office environment with health benefits for years.
You started your own company?
I started my own business. I know how that went down and have experience with that. So like a broad spectrum of types of work. I've been, I think, fortunate to experience a lot of different types of work to give me perspective on joining an MLM. And initially I was reluctant because it seemed like this is like a get-rich-quick scheme, and I know that you have to put hard work in to make money and make a living, so I'm not going to fall for that. But honestly, like Alison said, it's like the products were the game changer, and because like I'm not going to start selling some ugly leggings online. I have no business, but like the products that we found, Purium, it's like it was perfectly in time, because I was like, I'm tired of getting sick. I don't want my kids getting sick anymore. It's bullshit. Like people do not need to be getting colds and fevers anymore.
What? People don't need to be getting sick anymore? We're humans. That just happens. I imagine that we're about to get into some health claims about how your product is going to prevent people from ever getting sick again, which, wow, that is a miracle product.
We found a miracle cure!
The shade at LuLaRoe is funny. I've been noticing that a lot of times people in MLMs, especially after the Amazon Prime documentary came out about LuLaRoe, they try to separate.
Oh, but our MLM is different. We're not selling those ugly leggings. We're selling these miracle powders that you'll never get sick again.
All right, so let's get back into the health claims.
Which we don't. We haven't gotten sick for like 6 months since we've been taking it. And just all these amazing benefits.
And for the vegan movement, because we were seeing all around us people who either said they couldn't go vegan for health reasons, for nutrition deficiencies, or as I was also told for my iron deficiency that I couldn't, or that you see all these people who were vegan who turn back, who do actually the worst damage in the vegan movement is they're going back because they're not.
Hashtag no longer vegan.
Yeah, so that was so going to my reason why it was actually also I had done everything, different types of, I was a freelance stylist. I worked in, for big companies. I've worked for small companies, startups. I've done all, like, I've really
artists work as we're struggling as an artist, so we know how that is, you know.
Yeah, all those different above, and as well, like, I just I wasn't thriving in the corporate structures, or even just any really, like, I found that first of all I had to align with the company. I'm a very stubborn person, so I was not like I was never that favorite employee because I can't just work against my morals.
Yeah,
so
like your core principles
really
have to align with whatever the principles of the
Yeah.
like network is, you know.
Yeah, so it was really hard for me to find a company, especially even in fashion, that really, you know, takes into consideration environmental impact, and it was really hard for me to swallow just, you know, doing something because I'm told to. So
Yeah.
She was looking for something that seemed really impactful. And I have noticed that specifically with Purium, that is a big part of how they market their product, is like this very environmental company. Their packaging, I believe, is biodegradable. I could see somebody who cares about the environment being drawn to that, drawn to this company that says that they care about the environment. This is kind of something that I see a lot, is just the way that these MLM companies kind of shape to what the type of people they want to draw in. Like Healy, for example, is all about vibrational healing. So it does draw in a lot of people who are interested in spiritual healing just because of the language. And then Purium is about these like superfoods, and it's environmental. So it brings in a lot more people who are kind of like hippie types. I think the first person that I was following who I saw join this company is the Certified Health Nut. And I was kind of following along with him because he's one of the people that Julian Field follows on his Twitch stream. And then a lot of people who follow him and are in that sort of like hippie side of like alternative health also joined in. So that's kind of what I see with Purium in particular, is like a lot of people who are very live off the land, environmentally conscious, and that often is a lot of like pagan people because the earth and the environment is very important to us. So anyway, that's just kind of an aside based on what I heard her saying. It attracted her because she was looking for companies that are more environmentally conscious, and she wasn't seeing that in the fashion industry with fast fashion and everything. So of course, this company that is more aligned with those environmental concerns, of course she's going to be more attracted to that. All right, so I think they're going to get into like the pyramid scheme aspect of this company, and is Purium a pyramid scheme? Hadn't really thought of that. Purium. Purium is like pure, but it also kind of sounds like pyramid. So that's interesting. Sort of like the LuLaRoe leggings logo. Looks like a pyramid from the top. There's a little bit of some subliminal messaging there with the words. All right, but let's get back into it.
Like the misconception about pyramid schemes, like pyramid schemes are illegal. That's why they're called schemes, Ponzi schemes or whatever.
Sorry to pause it again so soon. Yes, pyramid schemes are illegal. You know what else is illegal? Drugs, murdering people, abuse. Do none of those things happen because they're illegal? People do illegal things. The reason that we have laws is to protect people from getting hurt, but some people are still going to try to figure out how to get around those laws and get away with doing illegal things. And a lot of MLMs have found ways to get around these laws that say pyramid schemes are illegal by looking for loopholes.
What's a pyramid scheme, you ask?
The FTC says that a pyramid scheme specifically is when the focus of the business is recruiting more people to join. So one way that you can tell if an MLM is a pyramid scheme is if they're more focused on helping their downline recruit more people into their downline and expanding the line. If that is the focus of most of the team calls and everything like that, then it's a pyramid scheme. If the focus is on actually selling a product and you earn more from commissions of selling products than you do from recruiting people, then it is a legitimate MLM. And another way that a lot of these MLMs get around this pyramid schemes are illegal is they require a certain amount of sales in order to meet that rank. And so that sort of makes it so that they're making money off of the sales of products. But they don't require those sales to be to people outside of the company. Those sales could be to your downline. Those sales could be to yourself. Those sales could be to another account that you open specifically to buy products. And so there's no like requirement for how those sales commissions are being made in a lot of cases, or if there is, people get around it through these loopholes. Anyway.
A lot of them operate in that gray area where, yeah, they're a pyramid structure, and there's upline, downline, and people kind of join and then are recruited, and
and you have to be a brand partner, and
yeah,
all
exactly.
these limitations. You have to buy a certain amount. And
Yeah,
there's a
so
lot
the
of
one that we joined, it's been around since 1993. So obviously not a scheme. It's working. They operate within like
The longevity of a scheme doesn't mean that it's not a scheme. It just means that the scheme is working. Avon's been around since like 1880 something. That's like a really long time, over 100 years, almost 150 years. That doesn't mean that it's not a scheme, in my opinion.
A network marketing framework, but the concept is essentially a sharing economy. And
we don't want to push anyone that doesn't want this. And
anyone who knows me is like, I'm not a salesy person. I don't like sales.
Why would you join a sales company if you don't like sales?
I tried telemarketing and I was sucked at it, and I'm just like,
I never did that. That's horrible.
And I'm not comfortable selling things in person even. Like, all I want to know is that I'm taking something, I vouch for it, it works, and it could work for you too. And that's all. No pressure, do what you want.
Yeah,
but
and even our lead, like even our the owner, the co-founder Dave, is the first to say he doesn't want people pushing people in this brand. This is not the kind of brand that you want to sucker someone into. This is for people who want it, because his spokespeople are going to be the people who are living the lifestyle.
I wonder why Dave decided to do an MLM business model instead of putting his products in stores. If he didn't want people to be recruiting people to sell his product, then he wouldn't have chosen the MLM business model. There's so many other ways that you can sell a product if it is a viable product that people actually want to buy and use. If his goal was actually to put the product in more people's hands, then he would have done a more traditional sales technique, like partnering with stores like Walmart and Target and selling on Amazon. Instead, he chose the business model that requires recruiting more people, selling to your friends and neighbors, which doesn't make sense for modern times. And to be fair, this was 1993 when they developed this company, as they said. I don't know if that's actually the right year, but I'll take their word for it. Back then, there was an Amazon. There were stores, though, of course, but it was a different kind of commerce situation. So maybe it did make more sense back then to be doing more of this like direct sales network marketing model. But today it doesn't make sense.
An approach like by Herbalife and like Arbonne, and like they all had like something sketchy. You could tell that their motivation was dollar bills, and like they overstep, like they're tapping into like the health food kind of craze, or like the plant-based movement for profit. Whereas Purium, it's like their core principle, their mission is to heal humanity, which like for me wasn't really like my core thing a few years ago, but more and more I'm seeing now that like as I get healthier, it's like the only way to heal the world is to heal yourself first. And someone who's eating garbage every day and polluting, it's like they're not going to take care of the earth the way we should be. So our core principles immediately align with this one. The people at the top aren't making as much money as people underneath them. So that idea of a pyramid is completely falsehood.
So the reason that something is a pyramid scheme is because of the emphasis on recruiting people. A lot of times in MLMs, there's like a certain number of levels deep that you can earn on. So somebody who's at the very top level, the first group of people who joined, they can earn 5 levels down. Whereas somebody at the second level, they can also earn 5 levels down. So that first level is not going to earn on this 6th level. But that means that, of course, somebody who's at the second level who was able to get more people down in the 6th level, they're going to be earning on that 6th level, which means they could be potentially making more money on it. Whereas the person on the first level isn't earning on that level. So yeah, of course, somebody who's on that second level earning on the 6th level might be making more than somebody on the first level who's only earning up to the 5th level. That doesn't mean it's not a pyramid scheme though. All right, well, let's get back into this video, reacting to them. I do want to look into the Purium compensation plan and income disclosure statement, but let's see what else they have to say.
And the fact is like, we are entering late stage capitalism right now. There is like a fundamental problem with the way things are, and everyone can see it. There's like a student debt crisis. People who are working full time, they have no benefits. They're sleeping in their cars. They're destroying the environment, and all to just drive down costs of things. They're outsourcing labor. There's like an animal labor. There's slave labor happening, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And we need to individually start making changes so that we can go towards a sharing economy. And there's good things happening, like Airbnb, a huge disruptor. Uber is a huge disruptor, but for a good cause. A lot of people lost jobs. A lot of people were over by these companies, but this is a sharing economy, and people more and more want things to be sourced ethically, and they don't just want crap sold to them. So
I think that those are all good things to talk about, and I don't want to fault him for having those beliefs. I don't want to be too harsh on these people, even though I do think that they are, in my opinion, part of a scam, and as they recruit more people, they are potentially harming other people. A lot of what he's talking about with this, all of the being in late stage capitalism, MLMs are a symptom of late stage capitalism, of capitalism in general. They're not a cure, they're not a solution. And marketing Purium as if it were part of a sharing economy is a misunderstanding of what that means, because it's not. Selling Purium is selling a product. Even if it was, ethically sourced, which I don't know if it is, even if it was environmentally sustainable, which I don't know if it is, it's still selling a product. You're not sharing that product, You're sharing it as in, I'm sharing the information about this thing with people. Sure, that's sharing the product, but it's not like the company is distributing this product to people. Everybody is communally involved with the sharing of the product. You're required to buy the product, you're required to sell the product, you're required to recruit people to buy the product, usually in order to maintain your rank.
That's capitalism, baby.
It's just, it's inaccurate to act as if Purium is the solution to late stage capitalism, or is the solution to all the other things he mentioned: animal slavery, slave labor, the student debt crisis, the healthcare crisis. All of these things are all symptoms of late stage capitalism, including MLMs.
The fact is like, yeah, in the end, we are selling something, but it's healing people. It's changing people's health, and it's going to heal the world. So we aligned with that.
Yeah, and so some of the criticisms I've heard are soulless, which Jared just addressed. I don't think there's anything soulless about MLMs fundamentally.
Like that idea of like people online are like get away from me, you're like a snake oil salesman, and like those types of people are kind of like closed off to the idea that like someone likes something, so they're vouching for it and they're selling it. Like they're only used to being marketed by corporations.
Yeah,
so,
which they don't have a problem with. But
Purium is marketed in the same way that a snake oil salesman markets their products. Not to say that they don't work, but they are presented as if they cure everything, which is what a snake oil salesman says. The idea of the snake oil salesman is that it's this traveling salesperson who pulls up to town and he's like,
buy my snake oil, it will cure your depression. Buy my snake oil, it'll cure your leg issues as well. Buy my snake oil, it'll help you walk again.
The one product is marketed by this person as if it could cure all of the people's ailments in that town. And that's the same way that I've seen Purium being marketed.
It will cure everything that you can say that you have a problem. Every single health issue that you say you have, Purium has a cure for that.
And that is why people would say that it's a snake oil. They kind of alluded to this idea that like people are more comfortable with being marketed to by a corporation than from like an individual person. Corporations don't necessarily have your best interest in mind. They're out there trying to make money, so they're trying to sell products that will enable them to make money, of course. But that doesn't inherently mean that an individual who's selling a product for a company is any better. Say I am a sales representative for Purium. Just because I am the face of the company doesn't mean that it's not a corporation that's selling the product. I'm just a sales rep for that company.
But as soon as when we posted about Sushi Momo and I did that video that got like 20,000 views, did Sushi Momo even give me a free drink? No. We're advertising constantly for companies. Right. We're doing this already just because that's sharing is actually in our nature.
Like someone who's devoted their life.
They're kind of alluding to this idea of like affiliate marketing versus selling their MLM product, where they shared a product that they enjoyed. I don't know what Sushi Momo is. Maybe I'm out of the loop. But apparently they made a video about this company and they weren't given any sort of like compensation for that. That is different than selling your MLM product. The difference is the compensation. As I was talking about earlier in this video, when you have a financial incentive to talk about something, it's less authentic because you're getting paid for it. Your incentive to exaggerate, to be dishonest, to sell is higher because you're getting compensated for making that sale or for getting someone to join your downline. Whereas just talking about a product that you like and not getting compensated for it, in my opinion, that's more honest. I've talked about this artist before. She's on my channel a lot. This is Whitney Ceramics. I don't get anything for talking about how much I love these mugs. Another video I made, I talked about the Medusa mug that I have. And so in a way, that's even more honest because it's me. No, it's more honest because I don't get anything out of it. I'm just sharing something I love. All right, so now let's compare it to like affiliate marketing. I'm an Amazon affiliate, so there are certain products that I will list in my description of my videos that if I love them, then I'll put a link to it. And if you happen to click that link and you also buy that product, then I'll get a small kickback for that sale. For example, this water bottle, it tells me to drink more water, and I'm really behind actually. It tells me to drink the water up to the certain time. I love this water bottle. If I didn't have it, I would forget to drink water, but because I have it, it's amazing. So I'll put a link, an affiliate link to this water bottle in the description of this video. And if you buy that product, I'll get like a small commission for that sale. And yes, a person in an MLM could say that they also get a commission for selling products. But the difference between like affiliate marketing and MLM is that it's free to do affiliate marketing. Yeah, I had to buy this water bottle, but I bought it one time and I don't have to continue to buy water bottles in order to get the commission that I might earn from people buying through my link. Whereas in an MLM, you start by buying the products to know that you like them and you want to sell them. And then you have to continue to buy products to continue to make sales in order to make the commission and in order to make the bonuses from recruiting. Otherwise, you don't get paid. Another difference is that if I do affiliate marketing through Amazon's affiliate program, I can choose to promote whatever products that I want. I like this water bottle. Sometimes I do affiliate links for my tarot decks if I show tarot in my videos. With a MLM, to promote their products, you can't really promote another company. So for example, if somebody in Purium wanted to share their link, they couldn't also share an affiliate code to a different superfood, a different supplement that they also like, that they use in addition, because that would go against the company. And then, of course, the biggest difference between affiliate marketing and multi-level marketing is that often with multi-level marketing, the amount of money that you're actually making, it's usually through recruiting members rather than through actually selling products. All right, so let's get back to it.
To a company or who's built businesses, who's an entrepreneur, who's successful or not, they're going to look down on an MLM thinking like, oh, like you guys just like want to like bypass all the hard work part because you're going into a company that's already established and, you know, just trying to get rich quick off me. And I'm not going for that. But the fact is like, why not be involved in something that isn't as risky, you know, is not as much as an investment. And for us specifically,
and there is hard work involved.
Yeah, no, you have to work hard at it if you want to be successful. Like that's another truth about it. And we'll be honest is that, you know, like the vast majority of people don't do great with it. And the thing is like you have to,
well, but I would say, yes, you have to work hard, but hard work isn't synonymous with boring or hard or drudgerous. It's like, actually it's hard work, but it's for the first time ever, hard work is fun.
Yeah.
Like this is our work. We're working right now. So
okay, so I'm having a hard time like following them because they're just jumping around to all these points. Maybe that's part of their strategy is like, just going to throw a bunch of spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. One of the things that I heard was this idea of like an MLM is bypassing starting your own business. I don't think those things are comparable because if you join an MLM, you don't own your business. You are a salesperson, or that's what you're supposed to be for it to be legitimate, and you're recruiting people. And then another thing that I heard them say was this idea of you have to work hard, and I heard him say that a lot of people don't succeed, which yes, that's true. That's what the FTC says. And then she kind of jumped in and was talking about how hard work is fun. It felt a little bit like they were saying that if you don't work hard, then you're not going to be successful. So anyone who doesn't succeed, it's because they didn't work hard enough. I mean, they didn't actually say that, but that's kind of what it was implied by that. I don't know exactly where they are in the company, but I imagine that now it's more fun to do the work because they have a big enough team that they make money without really having to do that much. Again, this is in my opinion. I don't know for sure where they are in the company, but yeah, it would be fun to make money off of not doing work.
We're like, I just feel like
and so many people are on social media right now being
I was doing it all already.
Yeah, like if you're on Facebook or whatever, like they're just using your data, you're contributing all that, you're actually like paying their bills for them. You're essentially a marketing tool already, but you're getting nothing for that. So why not like get a little bit of profit from these fucking monster corporations that are like
use Facebook, right? Because like Facebook is definitely using you. So just
okay, well that was a lot. Yeah, that is true. There's a lot that I would agree with what they're saying. Like, yes, your data is being used by these companies, but that doesn't mean you should join a pyramid scheme. Just because your data is already being used and abused by these giant tech corporations doesn't mean that you should be joining a pyramid scheme to be used and abused, in my opinion, by other corporations. I think that, yeah, you can work social media to your benefit.
We should post something on social media.
I think there's a lot of ways to use these tools that are available to us in order to make money or whatever it is that you're trying to do, basically for free. The sentiment of what he's saying, I get. If you're on social media anyway, then you might as well use it to help your business, whatever that is. Also, another side of that, not everything we do has to be monetized. Some things can just be fun. I haven't been posting very much on social media, but I have been like scrolling social media, seeing what other people are putting out there. Some things can just be fun. If you're on the app to laugh, to be entertained, to learn something, that idea of you might as well sell something on social media if you're on there anyway, that is a symptom of late stage capitalism. You don't have to sell everything. You don't have to monetize everything.
Monetize! Monetize!
Find your way to use the system back.
Yeah, and
So-
it's not like you're using individual people.
No.
It's just a platform.
Yeah.
And essentially with the sharing economy,
You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
it's just like, here's all my free fruit. Who wants it? You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm trying to like take advantage of people. And the fact is like your family and friends are going to be the first to say no, to give you the finger and be like, get away from me with your sales stuff.
That's
Like,
true.
It's just something you have to deal with. And, you know, we know firsthand, like our close friends aren't into it because they're just like,
Well, some of them are,
some
but
of them are, but
when people try it, they are. But I think knee-jerk reaction for some reason, like, is just this closed mind. Like, if you're selling something, I don't want it on principle. You know,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
almost.
Meanwhile, if we'd started our own business and built something from the ground up, and we're like, here's like the Jared and Allison brand, like green juice, like maybe they'd be more responsive.
Yeah.
But it's like there's going to be that resistance. But the fact is you're on a world stage now. You don't like people who are successful with this business. It's like they reach millions of people. They take advantage of the tools that they have, and they reach millions of people because there's people all over the world who want what you.
Yeah, they're already buying it. You know, I'm sure most of my friends, even in our family, who isn't buying it through me, are still buying it through someone else, which is fine as so long as it's not supporting companies like. You know, like Nestle owns a lot of these like healthy green juices. Like I'm really all about like, you know, finding sources that are ethical. So I hope that anyone who's not buying it from me is also sourcing it from another ethical source. And hopefully eventually they'll learn that I have the best one and, you know, they'll buy it from us. But
you're basically just facilitating.
Okay, they're jumping all around. I don't think they prepared before they did this. Let's see what I heard them say. So one thing that he said was that this is a sharing economy, and he's saying, here's my fruit, take what you want. But that's not what he's doing. He's selling something. It's not sharing. Again, I talked about this already. This isn't what a sharing economy is. Just because you are sharing on social media doesn't mean that you're sharing. They're different. Then they talked about how family and friends are going to be the first people to say no, and that they're cool with that. They turned it around to be like, people have like an adverse reaction to being sold to without really taking into consideration what we already talked about, that some people just don't like MLMs and they don't want to support somebody who's selling MLM products, and they don't want to join your downline. And there's good reason for that because, again, the FTC has said that most people who join an MLM are either going to lose money or not make any money. She also mentioned that they might be buying from another company, or they might be buying from Purium and not from her. That's weird. Why wouldn't they buy from you if they're going to buy from the company? But also she talked about like these other, you know, less ethical companies like Nestle.
Nestle Tollhouse. Nestle Tollhouse?
And I don't know specifically about Purium's like ethics or whether they're sustainably sourced or anything like that. And maybe you guys should have started your own juice company, because then you could probably make it for cheaper, sell it for cheaper. You'd be in charge of the pricing, you'd be in charge of everything involved in that business, and you wouldn't be in what I think of as a pyramid scheme. And you wouldn't be, in my opinion, scamming people.
From source to the customer, the same way like Uber is just connecting drivers to people who need rides. So it's an algorithm. So we're essentially an algorithm connecting you to farm fresh superfoods without a middleman.
Yeah.
So you're saving money.
You're the middleman. This business model was developed with that in mind, that you're actually selling to the people that you know. Network marketing was really supposed to be about your network, but with social media, your network includes people who are literally strangers. Now you become the salesperson, the middleman, when I could just buy directly from the company. In fact, I just saw that Purium does sell on Amazon, so I don't even have to buy through a salesperson. I could just go on Amazon if I wanted to try this, which I don't, because I also just learned that there is potentially lead in the products. Gross! But we won't get into that in this video. Saying that you're taking out the middleman is actually totally inaccurate. you're adding an additional middleman that we don't need. We can just buy products directly from companies in 2023. We don't need someone to sell us these things.
There's no middleman profiting
Yeah,
off
and it's a very
you,
transparent company. So I love that we can meet the owners and, hang out with them and visit the facilities, and like everything is very transparent. So when you're dealing with, any big corporation, it's really hard to find the sources of where they get things.
And like things like Herbalife and Arbonne, it's like you look into it and there's always like something sketchy going on, and like we did explore that. And the only experience I've had with an MLM was I was younger, and like we had a neighbor who was selling Cutco knives, and it's like you can't get them in stores, like you have to actually deal with someone directly. And like I was a bit put off by that fact. I was like why can't I just go to the store to get it? Like why do I have to pay, like buy them through you? And yeah, it was a bit weird, but those knives are the shit, by the way.
Yeah,
so
like you're still
I still want them, but like the fact is like here you are entrusting an individual with the know-how and the expertise to sell you something or just be a facilitator to the product without that corporate persuasion of like trying to pay, like, they have like so much other overhead issues and things that they have to pay for.
Yeah, you're paying for their marketing, you're paying for all the other things.
Yeah, so now this is
and here you're supporting your neighbor at the same time, which is just a beautiful thing, because why not support your neighbor, or some big CEO who's, using his money for yachts or whatever.
So dispelling myths about MLMs, like
okay, so he said that they looked into Arbonne and Herbalife. They're very much harping on these two companies, I guess because they have comparable products, so they're trying to say, well, like, our product is better. And they're talking about how like you need an expert salesperson to sell you these things, but it's like, why do you need that? Why do I need an expert about knives to sell me knives? I could just go to the store and buy knives. And it's the same with these supplements. I don't need like a training in how to use these products. Supplements shouldn't be that complicated, I guess. Like you shouldn't need a training to use a supplement.
Honestly, like we're not just putting this out there to be like we're one of the good ones and the rest are bad. It's more just like,
no, there's a lot of good ones out there and there's a lot of bad ones out there, but it's important that we don't generalize, because actually that leads to a lot of bullying and unnecessary hurt. And you know what, you're also not then allowing yourself to experience the benefits, and it's not doing anyone any favors.
And this isn't going anywhere. It's like there's a reason why like Richard Branson advocates for network
Warren
marketing.
Buffett.
Warren Buffett's a big believer. Tony Robbins, Gary Vee.
Yes, these are all people that I wish to emulate in my life. You are listing all of my heroes that I love. This is sarcasm if you can't hear it in my voice. None of those people have any amount of esteem, in my opinion. The reason that these people advocate for MLMs is because they're a good way to make a lot of money if you get in quickly and you recruit a lot of people. So
it's just another cult.
That's not really doing what you think it's doing.
Like these marketing geniuses who are like at the forefront of technology are saying this is the future, because it is. And the fact,
why would it be the future if network marketing has been around since, I believe Avon was the first one in, as I mentioned before, 1880s. That's not the future. That's a outdated business model that doesn't make sense in the modern world.
Fact is like a lot of the negative press, a lot of negative media, you hear about it.
It's funded by.
Look where that's coming from. It's corporations that are scared of disruptive individuals and disruptive companies taking money away from their shareholders, because that's their bottom line.
Hi, my name's Maggie. I don't belong to any corporation. And I'm talking out about MLMs.
Wrong.
The vast majority of the activism against MLMs, the change makers, are individual YouTubers, people on Instagram. It's like individual people. Target is not out there like advocating against MLMs. MLM is not a disruptor in the same way that like Airbnb and Uber that he mentioned before are disruptors. Those companies actually did change the way we fundamentally think about transportation and hospitality services. MLMs are not a disruptor. They've been around since the 1800s. This is not like a new technology, a new business model. This is the oldest trick in the book for making money for a few people. This is ridiculous.
It flames on the side of my face.
I agree with a lot of what I feel like they represent. Like, I think, they're talking about problems that we have in our world. They're talking about the problems with capitalism. They're talking about the issues that people face with their health insurance and with student debt and all these different things. They've talked about animal agriculture. There's a lot that I agree with them about. I just think that they either fundamentally misunderstand what an MLM is, or they're scamming. They're grifting. They've thrown away their morals. They still act as if those morals are holding up their position in the MLM while they're participating in those issues. Again, these are my opinions. These are my perceptions of what I'm hearing from them. I don't know them. I don't know if that's actually how they feel. But what they're saying doesn't match up with what they're doing.
I've heard people think that it's like if you're in an MLM, you're fake. And so interesting. I actually do consider myself, I consider one of my job descriptions as I'm a professional friend. And this is like an amazing thing for me to have as like a job description, because I love people. I love working with people and helping people. If you already are just a very giving, naturally like friendly person, this is an amazing way to monetize that. And I don't see anything bad. It's not like I'm going out there being a fake person. Like I'm not backstabbing. Mm-hmm. Everything I say is what it is. And it's just, it's a way to sort of like encourage that, I guess. Like,
yeah, right.
A professional friend.
I have friends. I definitely have friends.
Again, I don't know her. I don't know him. I don't know if she's being fake. I think it's time that we look at the compensation plan. So this is the compensation plan from 2022. They say the power of affiliate marketing combined with the potential of residual income. Customer program. Keep in mind, compensation plans, income disclosure statements are meant to be confusing. A lot of times MLMs will manipulate data in order to appear a certain way. So it's really important to look at the footnotes. A lot of MLMs will make their compensation plans confusing because they don't want you to understand it. So we'll do our best to try to understand this. Weekly compensation. Weekly period is Saturday through Friday, and then you're paid the following Friday. Customer savings. New customers save $50 or 25% off, whichever is greater, with a gift code. No membership, minimum of $75 order. Future orders. All customers can save up to 25%. No auto ship required. Customers who order every month, purchase $250 or more worth of products, or have a smart order, receive a 25% discount. Okay, so I need to know what is meant by the word customer and what is meant by a smart order. Hopefully we are told what that is. I assume a customer is just somebody who buys product. All customers and brand partners who order products will receive reward points that can be redeemed for future product purchases. If you want more information about this, they say it's a unique program, but it sounds like it's a loyalty program, as basic as getting a stamp at a coffee shop every time you buy a coffee. That helps keep your customers coming back for more and helps you earn more. Let's see what that's about. Save $50 or more, premium, earn points, collect more points. Is this what is going to tell me about it? Okay, I don't think this is it. They say that if we come here, then we will learn about the products. All right, well, that's not helpful. They say we could learn more about it, but I don't see it there, so we're just gonna not. Glossary of terms is in the back for definitions. Oh, good. Does it tell us what a customer is? No. A smart order. Okay, so a smart order is a reoccurring order by a customer or brand partner that is automatically shipped on a chosen date from the 1st to the 21st of the month only. If no order has been placed prior to the smart ship date, must have 50 BV minimum smart order on file to qualify for fast start bonuses, match, and other promotions. Okay, well that's not helpful. I think we need more information. Let's go back here. No auto ship is required, but smart orders are in this where you can receive a 25% discount. It sounds like the smart order is basically like a set order that you have and it will only be shipped if you don't buy other products first that month. So now we have brand partner earnings. Every week a brand partner gets paid 20% of the dollar amount of the customer orders before shipping and handling and tax. So based on what you sell to your customers, you get 20% commission. K-Club bonuses. Brand partners earn $50 for every $100 in customer purchase on a monthly basis. Oh, for every $1,000. So if you have customers who buy $1,000, you would earn $50, $100, $150, etc. For every 1,000 you get $50 more. And then you also get 5% of, what's BV? What's BV stand for? BV, business volume, the point value assigned to each product that counts towards a brand partner personal volume qualification and used to calculate commissions. So you get 5% of your business volume that's paid up to 4 levels. So that's what I was talking about with the different levels, where Like this level would be earning on 1, 2, 3, 4, but this level, somebody that they recruited in this level would get paid on those 3, but also a 4th one, where the first one's not getting paid on that 5th level. I was talking about it with 5 and 6, but in this company it's up to 4 levels. See structure and compensation page for more details. Gift codes reduce customer price by $50 and BV by 40 points. All right, so that is the customer program, what your sales are for like commission, and the customer discounts for people to continue to come back and buy more products. So now let's look at fast start bonuses. Lucrative rewards for launching your business with intention. The faster you start and duplicate, the more businesses you earn, the more bonuses you earn, and the higher you rank, the more residual income you will make. Wait, I read that completely wrong. The faster you start and duplicate, the more bonuses you earn, and the higher you rank, the more residual income you will make. So we have pay periods, which are Saturday through Friday, same as the customer commissions. Monthly commissions are paid on the 15th of every month. So then we have our fast start bonuses, weekly and monthly. When you enroll or upgrade, you can earn up to $3,500 in cash bonuses with the Fast Start track. Achiever must have an active smart order of 50 BV minimum and meet the minimum requirements within the timeframes outlined in the graphic. Fast Start ranks include only Consultant, Director, Executive, Diamond, and New Promotional Achievement of Futurist. All right, so then we have the Fast Start matching bonuses. When you enroll a new brand partner and help them to achieve their Fast Start bonuses, you earn a matching bonus of up to $2,500. You, the enroller, must have an active smart order of 50 BV minimum and be qualified at the same or higher rank than the bonus achievement. Matching bonuses are only paid for consultant, director, and executive, plus 50% match for futurist and diamond. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you have to be buying the equivalent of 50, what was BV? See, I told you, this is confusing. BV, business volume. Oh, okay, so you could be selling, I guess. But a smart order, recurring order by customer or brand. Oh, okay, so someone else in your organization, you could have a customer who's buying the equivalent of 50. I wonder what... Oh boy, we're really getting into it. I don't know what it is, if it's $1 to dollar or what. Let's say it's $2 per volume. Well, let's just say it's $1 to $1. Either selling to somebody $50 or you yourself are buying $50 worth of things. I don't know if it's an exact correlation, but for simplicity, let's say that it is. I'm not sure where I left off. I had to take a break because I had a really bad headache. But I ate something and I feel better now.
Flashback.
I just have a headache and I don't want to do this anymore.
End of flashback.
I think I was talking about this Fast Start matching bonus, which basically says that when you enroll a new brand partner and you help them to achieve their Fast Start bonuses, so these ones, so you can earn these, and then if you also help other people to earn these Fast Start bonuses, then you earn an additional bonus. And again, it specifies that you have to have 50 BV and qualified at the same or higher rank than the bonus achievement. Consultant, director, executive, futurist, and diamond. Smart order 50 BV minimum is required for a Fast Start bonus and matching bonus. They really want to emphasize that because they say it in each of these descriptions, and then they have this little thing at the bottom, and then they have FAST, F-A-S-T, start bonuses. Wonder what that stands for. Why did they make it like a acronym? They follow the enroller tree, not the placement tree. Okay, so now we don't know what an enroller tree or a placement tree is, so let's go see if they have that in the glossary of terms. They do not. Enroller tree or placement tree. Neither of those are in the glossary. So they just assume that you know what that is, which maybe that's a common thing that people know, but I don't know. So maybe we'll learn about it later on in the structures. And then they say, note, Any manipulation of the accepted ordering and enrolling procedures, including bonus buying, enrolling multiple positions, or obvious placement for the purchase of rank advancement, may void the bonuses and could be grounds for more severe penalties. This is a lucrative program incentivizing new business volume from legitimate customers and brand partners acquired in a rapid prospecting effort. So basically the company is trying to cover their own butts, but like, are they actually going to give somebody severe punishment? Sorry, I'm trying to get comfy. This chair's not that comfy. I'm gonna have to get a new chair. It's been wiggly in the last couple of videos I've filmed. So now these are the bonuses. Consultant. So we have our consultant achievement in 10 days. You have 10 full days to get 1000 GV in roller tree at 2 AE. All right, we gotta go to the glossary. What is GV? Group volume. The volume in your organization from 8 levels deep using compression, including your own personal volume. Group volume for crowns includes 9 levels. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is quite the pyramid, if you ask me. AE, actively enrolled. Personally enrolled active brand partners and or customers with 50 BV order in the month. Active means they have 50 BV of personal volume in a monthly commission period. So what is this sentence again? You have 10 full days to get 1000 group volume and 2 active enrollees, actively enrolled. And the 10 full days can span over 2 calendar months. All right, so then director, achievement in 1 month, paid monthly. So if you get within 1 month, why does month have an asterisk? Do they define month? No. Anyway, the month you enrolled or upgraded plus a full month. Oh, I see why they have to define that. You need 3 active enrolled, 50 BV, and 2,500 GV. Again, they're talking about the enrollment tree. I don't know what that is yet. If you know what it is, then I'm sure you're already commenting it. Hopefully we learned. All right, so you have the month that you enrolled and 1 full month after to get the 2,500 GV and 3 AE. So again, GV is group volume. Okay, so now then we have the executive, which you can do within 2 months. Similar things, just slightly more time, slightly more requirements. Futurist within 3 months, and then diamond. Okay, so I think what we need to do is know what these different levels are in the multi-level marketing structure. So this first part is rank structure and qualification. So we have all these ranks. You start as an associate. Look at that, it's alphabetical. Associate, builder, consultant, director, executive. That's cute. And then diamond, green diamond, blue diamond, black diamond, red diamond, crown, 2-star crown, 3-star crown, 4-star crown, 5-star crown, royal crown 1 and royal crown 2. These names. Then we have personal volume. Is personal volume defined in here? Personal volume is the total business volume of products purchased by a brand partner. So I guess it's just what your own purchases. You have to have personal volume of 50 at each of these levels, 100 and then 200. So you have to buy more products the higher up you are, but like doesn't seem like you'd be using that many. So are you allowed to resell your personal products? Give them away as samples or whatever? I mean, I guess you can, it's your product. And then personally enrolled active brand partners and customers. Associate will have 0, a builder will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 for all of the diamonds, and 12 for all of the crowns. So these are active brand partners and customers. So if you're an associate, you don't have anyone. Okay. Group volume. All right, so an associate doesn't have anyone that they've recruited, so they wouldn't have any group volume. A builder has to have 1 customer or person below them on 1 downline, and 300 group volume, so 300 BV in sales for them and the person below them. Does the 50 count towards the 300? You would have to buy a lot more, or you and this 1 person below you would have to buy more than the personal volume requirement, right? I mean, I guess you could have customers and that would go to the group volume, and then 1,000, 2,500, 6,000, 15,000, 30, 50, 75, and it goes up from there. So that's how much your selling. 1 million in group. Okay, so that's, but this go down 9 levels. I also don't understand if the levels include the one that you're on, or if it's like, are you 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Or is it you and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? I don't know if it super matters, but I am just curious about that. Okay, so those are the qualifications to be at those levels. Let's go down to the first order bonus for a brand partner and customer ongoing payout for all customer purchases paid on order sometime. What in the world is that title? Okay, first order pays through enroller tree, subsequent orders pays through placement unilevel tree. Based on context, I think the enroller tree is like where you're placed based on who enrolled you, and then placement tree is like you can move people around maybe. Is this like a common MLM term? I've never heard it used before. The enroller tree tracks the relationship of enroller to enrolled. This means that when a Purium member brings a new member to the company, he or she has enrolled the member, and the new member will always count as having been personally enrolled by the existing member. The enroller tree tracks this relationship through a member's entire organization, and the first order bonus is always paid through this tree. So then let's see what placement tree is. Unilevel tree. The sponsor / unilevel tree determines how the unilevel bonus and professional unilevel bonus are paid, and whether or not the structural requirement for rank have been met. The sponsor / unilevel tree tracks relationships between members based on where they have been placed in the organization. So this is distinct from the enroller tree. When a member's sponsorship is changed, the enroller above them remains the same. You can move people around in your organization. I guess if somebody is, you can like be strategic with where people are placed in the organization. So the first order pays through the enroller tree, and then subsequent orders pay through the placement tree. So customer enroller level 1, the level of where they are in the pyramid, which level they're on in the multi-level tiering.
Using a multi-tier multi-level market.
I don't understand these. I'll just say like 5%, 20%. I don't really understand what this is saying. I don't know what this means. If somebody can explain this, I have no idea what this means. The headings is this like, this is your first order and this is the second order? What are these arrows for? First order bonus for upgraded brand partner products paid on order BV. Again, this is paid through the enroller fee. I don't know what the arrows mean. I don't know. Like, I guess the first level below you get 25%. The second level, you get 5%, but only after the second order, maybe? It should have a header on what these columns are. This table needs to have headers to explain why there are so many columns. Why do these columns not have titles? I see. It's these columns, right? They go down here. So for associate, the associate customer enroller, it's 20% if you're an associate. Oh, I get it. Okay, I got it. These are the headers up here. And if you're an associate, well, no matter what level you're at, you get 20% of the people that you enroll. And then if you enroll the level one level below you, I think that's what it is. Is that right? If you're an associate, you don't have one level below you, so you don't earn anything. But a builder would have one level, so they earn 5%, and then all of these would get 5%. And for level 2, the builder wouldn't have 2 levels below them, but a consultant would, so they get 5%, and then all the way across. That's what these arrows are. So then 5% for the director, 5% for, I get it. Is that right? I think that's right. And then this last one is first order bonus for upgraded. So what is the difference between upgraded brand partner product? So these are commissions for customer purchases. I don't know what the difference is between these. All right, so now the next one is the same thing. No. What is infinity? Oh my goodness, now we're adding whole other things. Okay, is this just showing these are for member orders, customer payment of customer orders? I don't don't know what the difference is between these two graphs, but we've added a whole other thing. What is infinity? Infinity bonus. There are two categories of infinity bonuses, green diamond and blue diamond. Green diamonds receive a 2% commission on all BV on their 9th level through an infinity number of levels. Well, joke's on you, because you can only have 13 levels before you surpass the population of the Earth. Unless you can just like enroll people but move them onto different levels. I don't know if that would be better or worse. Matching bonus. Are these the bonuses for like enrolling? You get 5% for, is this like the recruiting bonuses? Let's look at more bonuses, pools, and lifestyle income. Lifestyle bonus. Earn up to $10,000 in monthly cash bonuses. You can also do profit sharing pools. Oh, I wonder if this is what he was talking about with the sharing economy. You can earn income beyond the limits of your own downline. The diamond pools pay 2% on all Purium BV across North America to qualify. Diamonds, the crown pool pays 3% of all Purium BV across North America to our qualified crowns. So you're not really sharing. The highest ranks in the company are just like sharing with the other highest ranks in the company. So you're not sharing to like the lowly consultants, directors, and executives. The kings and queens are sharing their money around. An achievement bonus. These are for those who do not achieve fast start bonuses within the required time frame. Achievement bonuses are available as brand partners move through the ranks. These are instead of and not in addition to fast start bonuses, and do not include matching bonuses. If you get a person in your downline to consultant, then you get $50, I guess. Or no, if you get to those ranks, maybe. Oh, I get it. It's like instead of getting to this and getting 400, getting to director and getting 400, you get to director and get 200. Well, that's nice. So now we're talking about income disclosure statement. Partnering with Purium provides a platform. Alliteration. To spread economic freedom and plant-based wellness for those able to dedicate just a few hours a week or those seeking a full-time career. Becoming a Purium brand partner will be a rewarding opportunity that will allow you to unleash your entrepreneurial spirit while making a difference. 2021 monthly and weekly commission data. Below is a summary of the commissions earned by brand partners under the Purium compensation plan. These figures do not include the value of trips, recognition, non-cash prizes, and complimentary products earned by brand partners. So they're saying, don't be swayed by these lowly amounts. All figures are in US dollars. In 2021, 49.77% of brand partners received commission in 2021. About 50% of people received any commission. These are weekly brand partner earnings by ranks, and it doesn't include the monthly earnings. So again, that's why it might be lower, because there's a whole monthly commission that we didn't even include here. All right, and then we do have this footnote that says weekly brand partner earnings are earned by customer orders, brand partner first orders, and fast start consultant bonus and match. All right, so the highest earning for an associate, $14.40. Average earning, $32. Lowest is $10. The average isn't giving us that much information, and the average is much closer to the lowest, which to me, based on my limited statistics class that I took once in college, it's likely that the number of people earning closer to the $10 range per week is more than the number of people earning closer to the $14.40 per week. Similar numbers for builder, similar for consultant, director. By executive, we've gone up to about 13,000 is the highest, which is pretty crazy because that's way higher than like any of the other numbers on here. These numbers are all over the place. Somebody joined and like killed it. They probably like bumped all the way up to executive and totally threw off the curve for the rest of everybody. Yes.
Brilliant! Once again, you've wrecked the grading curve.
Okay, so then I also want to mention that these numbers are only based on 50% of the brand partners that earned commissions, meaning that more than 50%, 50.33, right? 50.23% of the brand partners didn't earn any money or lost money. So these numbers are based on the people who actually earned money. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Then the next one shows the monthly brand partners. So we're not including the weekly for this one. And this one is monthly brand partner earnings are earned by all brand partners' subsequent orders, all rank advancement and fast start bonuses and match, except consultant fast start, matching, infinity, pools, and lifestyle bonuses. And another note here that says that 49.3% of all brand partners were inactive and didn't place an order in 2021, and that percent is not included in the average of all brand partners. Approximately 50%, again, didn't earn any money. Anyway, now we have an income disclosure statement graph. They also don't tell us how many people are at these ranks, which I think is kind of an interesting discrepancy. Why aren't they telling us how many people out of the whole company actually earned that much? Because this, without having that information, you could just make up any narrative that like there's 1,000 people or there's 5,000 people earning this much. But really it could just be like one person. So let's see what this footnote says. The income statistics above are for all active US Purium brand partners who are eligible to earn downline commission in 2021. 98% of the launch packs in 2021 were complimentary based upon a brand partner purchasing a featured product pack ranging from 179 to 525. An active brand partner is defined as a brand partner who earned at least $10 of commission in 2021. You can't earn commission without being active, and you can't be active if you don't make the purchase of 50 BV. Brand partners who were inactive in 2021 accumulated less than $10 of commission per year. The average annual income for all brand partners, active and inactive, in 2021 was $1,280. The median for all active brand partners in 2021 was $258. So how come they're not telling us the average and the median for both? All brand partners in 2021, the average earnings, they tell us that number. But for the active brand partners, they're telling us the median, which if you're unfamiliar with statistics, the median is a type of average. It's the number that is, when you look at a data set, it's the number that is exactly in the middle versus the mean, which is a type of average. And I think that's what they're using the word average here to describe, is when you add up all the numbers and you divide by the number of the data points. So why are they giving us two different types of average for two different data sets? In 2021, 50.23% of all brand partners received no income at all. Note that these figures do not represent a brand partner's profit, as they do not consider expenses incurred by a brand partner in the operation or promotion of his or her business. That's an important thing to recognize, because even if, for example, you're this diamond who earned $32,340, you might have spent $32,340 on your 50 BV minimum, your social media tools that you need to schedule posts or to do a automated chat bot or to make cards to set up at a fair, or using Canva and paying for it, all these different things that you might need to purchase. Also including like going to events. I don't know if Purium has events. The figures above refer to gross income, total income before expenses were deducted. The expenses a brand partner incurs in the operation of his or her Purium business vary widely. Expenses for brand partners can be several hundred or $1,000 annually. You should factor in estimated expenses when projecting potential profits. Such operating expenses could include advertising and promotional expenses, product samples, training, travel, telephone and internet costs, business equipment, and miscellaneous expenses. Well, actually, this is like pretty promising that Purium includes this information. I don't know that I've looked at a compensation plan that actually spells that stuff out. I wonder if it's a new requirement from the FTC to disclose all this stuff, or if this actually is a more honest company. The earnings of the brand partner in this chart are not necessarily representative of the income, if any, that a Purium brand partner can or will earn through his or her participation in the Purium compensation plan. These figures should not be considered as guarantees or projections of your actual earnings or profits. Any representation or guarantee of earnings would be misleading. Success with Purium results only from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, leadership. Your success will depend upon how effectively you exercise these qualities. Please note that many Purium promotions reward QV qualifying volume that help to rank advance, but do not include CV commissional volume or payout. I'm gonna tell you, I'm pretty confused about all of this. Oh, so I just learned that they didn't start doing the multi-level marketing business model until 2004. So they didn't actually start out in 1993 as a multi-level marketing company. They added that. I imagine that's because the CEOs can make more money that way. And something else that I noticed in doing this research is that in previous compensation plans, they actually included the number of reps that are on each level versus the most recent one that I could find, which was from 2022, I think. That's the one that we just went through. They stopped including the number of people at each rank. The longer that they're doing the multi-level marketing business, the less complementary it will be towards the company. Because if we look at, let me pull up the compensation plan from, I think they have one from 2020 or 2017 also. So this is the compensation plan and income disclosure statement from 2018, but they have numbers from 2015. But if we get down here to the income disclosure statements, they include the percentage of all affiliates and the percentage of active affiliates. And so then they have the amount that they made for all affiliates and then the amount of active affiliates that they made. They included this information in this. This is from the data from 2015, and in 2018, I imagine they thought it was close enough that they could still use 2015 data and not be like called out for it. But in 2023, they can't continue to use this data. And I imagine they didn't include these numbers anymore because they're, like I said, are less complementary to the company because of how many people are not ranking up or earning money. You can already see that there's already a greater proportion of people at these lower ranks than at the higher ranks. The crown, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the crowns make up less than 1% of the company. Of all people. And then the 3, 4, and 5-star crown make up less than 1% of the active affiliates. So the amount of people who are actually making this much money is not that many. And if we go back to the graph that they show in this one, the potential to earn these amounts, the hundreds of thousands of dollars, is very slim. And it's even worse now. It's even worse almost 10 years later. So the data that we see here is outdated. Again, this is from 2015. It's almost 10 years later. But I do think it is interesting that they no longer include the information about how many people are at each of these ranks. Like, what do we think the reason would be that they wouldn't want to tell us in 2023 or 2022 when the most recent compensation plan is from? I don't know if that made sense, but I'm just finding these numbers interesting. So that was a long time to spend on the compensation plan. I am sorry if that's not interesting to you. Let's just finish off their video.
It's like personal growth is a huge part of it. And yeah, like that idea of like a built-in support system that's there. Everyone wants you to do well. It's not just like the people above you who are pushing you. It's like everyone.
Yeah, it's a beautiful community. And I wouldn't be where I am right now if I didn't have that. So it's built in that you have the support system and personal growth and development system. And you can use these tools. They're free. Like, I mean, it's there. So it's built in.
So many people we know spend a lot of time helping people grow their own business. You know what I mean? And the idea with this specific company is like you do so well with it that eventually you're going to have residual income where you don't actually have to work at it, where you're just generating money passively, so you can focus on what you're passionate about.
How do we think that they're making passive income? The people who are higher up in the company, how are they making passive income? Based on the compensation plan, it's the work of the people in their downline. The people who are continuing to recruit people into their downline and selling. And at a certain point, there's a tipping point where you don't have to spend as much time focused on those types of activities because somebody else is doing that for you. I don't know exactly what that tipping point would be, but I imagine it's once you get into the higher diamonds and in the crowns. You know, once you have multiple levels of commissions that you're earning off of, obviously you won't have to put as much focus in recruiting because the people below you are putting in that effort recruiting more people into your downline, which is also their downline, so they can try to get to where you are. But there's just not enough people where everyone could be at the top of the compensation plan. There's just no way that everybody who joins any given company, it doesn't matter if it's Purium or Herbalife or Arbonne or any of the other ones that they've mentioned in this video, there's no way for every single person to be at the top of the compensation plan. I mean, just think about it logically. Say I'm right here at the top of this compensation plan and I've got all these people in my downline. If somebody maybe 3 levels down, like anybody who's above them, they're not going to be recruiting those people into their downline because they're already up here in the compensation plan. Just logically, because there's only so many people on the planet and not everybody wants to be involved in this specific MLM or any MLM. Like, take away for a minute the people who would just never join an MLM.
Those opposed?
But if we don't even have that side of this conversation where there's people who are like morally opposed to it, logically everybody can't win. But then when you add in the fact that there are people who are morally opposed to joining MLMs, then you certainly wouldn't be able to recruit enough people to be at the same level of a compensation plan. So, you know, I do think there is something to be said for being able to do passive income, being able to do something one time and then earn money on that forever. There's certain things that I've done that do fall into that category. It does give me the freedom to focus on other passions. But I'm not relying on somebody else continuing to do work for me in order to do that. Whereas somebody who's at the higher ranks in a compensation plan for an MLM, they can get to the point where they're earning money passively, having done the work to build their team and, you know, recruiting people to build their team. But those people are continuing to do work. So it's not really passive. You're just like outsourcing the work to somebody else and you're earning money on it. And that seems unethical to me.
That's capitalism, baby.
And that's our dream, is to like make movies and do cool shit and do art and not have to worry about and stress about money. And that's everyone's.
And we will get that by helping other people become successful. So it's like built in, this win-win, very symbiotic relationships are formed, whether you're a brand partner or a customer.
That's not what symbiotic relationships are. This is a food chain. Like, if we're talking ecological terms, and this is my forte. I went to school for this. So if we're talking about ecological systems, symbiotic relationships are things like multiple things depending on each other and working together, providing things for each other. For example, within the root system of a plant, fungi will grow on the roots of a plant, and they help the plant to absorb more water and nutrients from the soil. In exchange, plants provide fungi with carbohydrates that they need that the plant produces from photosynthesis. So the plant is helping the fungi by giving it sugars, and the fungi is helping the plant by giving it water and nutrients, and that is a symbiotic relationship. What an MLM is more like a food chain in which a plant takes energy from the sun, turns it into plant matter, and then an herbivore will eat the plant, and then a carnivore will eat the herbivore, and on and on and on, until the apex predator, arguably they will die and decompose and return to the soil, which the plant then uses to grow plants. So I guess you could say that it's more of a cycle. Two people in an MLM are not in a symbiotic relationship. An upline and a downline are not in a symbiotic relationship. They would probably argue that the person in the upline is earning money from the work of the person in the downline, and the person in the downline is learning about how to run their business from the person in the upline. But the value that the person in the upline is providing the person in the downline is not as valuable as the work that the person in the downline is doing to earn money for the person in the upline. Like, if you actually look at this value exchange, the person in the upline doesn't actually know anything or provide anything for the person in the downline. They can say that they're teaching you how to run your social media or how to recruit people or how to sell. But the thing that really helps somebody in an MLM is actually joining early, being the person in the upline. So I don't think that using that term symbiosis is accurate. That's not what's happening here. It's a predator-prey situation rather than a symbiotic equality situation.
That's built in. And it's like you don't get that from your local health food store. You don't get that from your grocery store. That's for sure. You don't get that kind of attentive.
Yeah. And the fact is like there might be some things that turn you off at the beginning. Like, for instance, like we weren't super into like seminars and workshops and like things that they say you have to do things a certain way, you have to do your homework, you have to do these market research things. The fact is make it your own, you know, like we're in this period of now of evolution with technology where like you could do things radically different and make huge waves. So, you know, do it your own way. I mean, use the tools that they have.
Yeah. Some people come in off the bat thinking, like you said, this is a get rich quick scheme, or like, you know, like they can bypass any of the tools and whatever's available. And I really recommend it. That's just my personal experience from having done both. I'm like, definitely when you join, like absorb, just be a sponge and just like absorb everything and
learn from people who are successful at it.
Yeah.
But you know, cater to yourself because everyone is an individual, and that's what's so great.
And use your own skills. Like everyone brings a different thing to the table. So Jared making videos, now we can apply that to, you know, we're gonna be doing stuff like that. And just being able to apply your personal unique skills and make it like apply them to this is an incredible opportunity.
To grow your reach.
Because whatever corporate job, like they squash you when you want to like get creative and do things your own way. So
they always act like all corporate jobs are the same. Maybe this is an anomaly, but every time that I suggested something innovative, even working in a restaurant, which I know is not like a corporate job. But on that note, okay, sorry, I have to say this other thought and then I'll finish my first one. When I think of a corporate job, I feel like it's not that large of a percentage of the jobs out there. Like I think of like HR, accounting, like the kinds of jobs that make a business function that you can find in a lot of different business models. But like, I don't really think that that's most of the jobs out there. And there's so, like, what is corporate jobs? What do they mean by that? Do they just mean like a 9-to-5? But when I worked as a hostess and a server and a food runner and a busser and things like that in several restaurants in the past, I know that's not the same thing as a corporate job, but whenever I had ideas to make things run more smoothly, that was celebrated. Maybe restaurants give you more room for being creative. I feel like a lot of businesses would value people coming up with ideas for making things run better. MLM type people just like, they have this impression of like what a corporate job is, and that anything that's not an MLM is just like terrible and that they don't care about you. And I do know that there are like not great jobs. Like there are companies that people work for that are terrible and they have bad experiences, and sometimes you just have to do that in order to survive. But most of the jobs that I've had and the people that I know who have jobs have had are not terrible. There's definitely things that could be improved upon. Like my friend, I would say that hers is probably the closest to a corporate job because she does accounting, and she's getting like maternity leave. She can work from home. Somebody else I know who is an engineer, he works from home. He gets to set his hours. My husband has a really good job. I don't think it's corporate, it's construction, but I don't know. Is a corporate just like the overall business is classified as a corporation? Is that what makes it a corporate job? If so, then like, I guess serving was a corporate job. I don't know. Anyway, there's always things that could be improved everywhere. But the thing about corporate jobs, and if we're classifying corporate jobs as just jobs that are created by a company that is classified as a corporation, then one thing that they can say is that they actually pay the people who work for them and they don't make people work for free.
Let's maybe not drop the $50 mics, okay?
This is a way that you're actually encouraged to bring your own unique skills to the table.
Yeah, and like if you're working right now or looking for work and you're struggling and it's
or you're
just
stressed
like,
in your job and it's
you
not giving you joy,
and you have this notion of like an MLM being like, oh, like that's like for mom, like work at home moms and like people who sell like ugly leggings and stuff like that. Like just try to erase that concept because it's expanding and it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's really not going anywhere.
I've been reading the transcript on their video because it helps me to focus on what they're saying, but it's really funny because just right there, the sentence that he wanted to say was just try to erase that concept, but what the captions say is just try to erase that consent because he kind of stumbled over the word and said just try to erase that consent, and then he corrected himself and said that concept. I think it's sort of like a Freudian slip where he started to say consent. I'm like, erase that consent seems like trying to indoctrinate somebody into a cult, if you ask me.
It's like we're kind of birthing a sharing economy. We're operating within like a capitalist structure, obviously, because we need to make a living, but we're more and more going towards this like healthy sharing.
It's a way
economy.
out of capitalism in a way. It's like if we can make and I wish this on everyone, to be able to make enough money to just pursue your own interests it should be everyone's ultimate goal. So
I know I've said this a lot, so I'm just going to be quick and say your MLM is not a way out of capitalism. Purium or any other MLM is not a sharing economy. I wish they would explain what they mean specifically by like their company is part of the sharing economy, Because from what I've done so far researching it, I don't see how this company could be part of the sharing economy. It is just like every other MLM that I've seen, slightly different numbers in the compensation plan. It's selling a product and making money off of selling a product, and recruiting people to sell the same product and making money off of the people that you recruit. Like, that's not sharing, that's just selling a product and recruiting people.
We don't want to recruit and, lure people who don't want this. Like, that is my objective, is to find people who are looking for this. And so that's why, broadening my reach now with videos, we can just kind of, get it out there. Don't try to think of it as like when you join something, like you have to go out there selling. This is an attracting business. Yeah. And we're
the people who do really great at it, like they're an inbound call center. They just like put themselves out there, they spread their message, and people come to them. Mm-hmm. And the fact
so there's nothing like, so you don't have to be scared of,
like, you're not going to be pressured to make sales.
No, because I wouldn't want anyone who doesn't want this. And you know what? If they do join and they're not doing it, they're not applying themselves to it, and they fall like that. Like, I let people, like, it's okay. They go. Yeah. Like, that's okay. I want to work with really highly motivated people who want this. And that's, And
Purium is great too.
It doesn't matter how motivated you are, how hard you work. Based on the compensation plan that we looked at, the vast majority of people are not going to make enough money to make a living. The vast majority of people are not going to rise high enough in the ranks, especially with a company that's been a multi-level marketing business model for 20 years. It's too late. The people who are at the top are just going to stay at the top. They're not going to leave. They're making plenty of money. The people who are at the bottom, there's not enough people left to join. You might raise a few ranks, but as we looked at in the compensation plan, it's not enough to live by for the amount of work that you have to do. And so many people have probably come in and gone that enough people know not to join. It's too late for Purium. 20 years in is too late for anyone new to do well.
Too, because like there's no inventory. It's not like we're sitting on a stockpile of like ugly clothes that are stressing us out that we have to sell. No. It's like the shop exists, and it's like all the business, all the admin nitty gritty stuff is taken care of. All we have to focus on is sharing it and making it fun and just enjoying it. And in the end, like, we want to retire like pretty young and just like be making a residual income, which who doesn't want that? So the first time stepping into it can be overwhelming.
I don't think people really understand like how much money you actually have to have stockpiled in order to retire young. I mean, I know he was talking about making a residual income and just continuing to earn money off of his downline.
It seems like there's a lot to absorb, but just know that like there are ways to be successful at it.
And definitely, if I can do it, anyone can. And Jar knows my work ethic. So
if you can do it, doesn't mean anything about anyone else. Everyone has you were just talking about how everyone's unique and you can do things in different ways. Some people won't be able to do this.
It's low risk, so it's kind of like, try it out. If you don't like the products, take your money back. If you enroll, it's like there's no commitment.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. There's no commitment, so you can become a customer or a brand partner. There's no sort of locking someone into that, and I think that's what people get really scared of with MLMs, is they suddenly realize they're like spending so much money.
And spending more than they're making, and it's not worth it.
There's no like, it's so little the investment, and it's just the rewards are so great. So health wise and monetary wise, I don't know which is better. They're very equally amazing.
Right. So if you're looking to do something new, like, get out of the capitalist grind. Like, there is no need to do that. And
it's not even ethical for the most part. People who are working at
like, I was fortunate enough,
McDonald's
I work part-time now at a company, and
that is so much privilege to be like,
oh, if you're working at McDonald's, then you're not ethical.
First of all, some people have to just like work whatever job they can take, and they don't have the privilege to be able to choose which job they're able to work. Second of all, I mean, I don't want to be defending McDonald's. That's the thing that makes me so annoyed about these MLM companies, is that they like get me defending corporations that aren't super ethical. But McDonald's does have a ton of programs that really do help people to do better in their life. They have management tracks where you can work up in the company. Companies like Starbucks will pay for college for people who work at Starbucks at very specific schools. Some of these corporations actually do help their employees to do more with their life. MLMs just like maybe pay you. I'll admit that maybe Purium is one of the more like appealing products that I've seen, but also like you could just eat fruits and vegetables. You don't have to eat powdered fruits and vegetables that come in a bag. Like, you could just get apples and oranges and bananas and spinach. I do appreciate that they're not, at least they're saying that they're not trying to like force people to do something that they don't want to do, or like really pushing people to sell and to recruit. Of course, this is a public YouTube page. I don't know what they say in their team calls. Who knows? Maybe I'll try to get in one sometime. But I just think it's such a privilege to be able to say like people who work at McDonald's are less valuable than somebody who has an MLM business or anything, or it works any other job. It's so, I mean, that mindset is very capitalist, like valuing types of labor differently. All labor is labor and it all has value. I'm just like so frustrated with like the things that they're saying that doesn't match the things that they're doing. As I've said multiple times, an MLM is a product of capitalism. You cannot take the capitalism out of MLM. I mean, just think about it this way. In countries that have like more socialist types of economies where their people are taken care of more, they don't have as many MLMs. So if you're concerned with like student debt and with healthcare costs, as you mentioned previously in the video, looking at countries that do have like free education, higher education, and free healthcare, those countries have lower rates of MLMs. So I don't know if this is like a correlation or a causation thing, just something to think about, especially with like a health and wellness company like Purium. They're taking advantage of the fact that people have insecure healthcare or insecure about their ability to receive healthcare. So instead of like advocating for better health insurance and better healthcare system in the United States, instead they're selling products that are supposed to not make you sick.
You know, it's great. I learned a lot, you know, and it's like, it's good, it's fine. But, you know, like I want more and I want it faster. And here's an opportunity to do that. And why not? So
yeah, so
get on it.
Don't judge and don't sweep everything with one brushstroke. We are all people, and always be kind, because
kindness rules.
Yes.
The economy.
This is a great structure that I completely believe in and I know is not going anywhere. So
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, now I feel like an asshole. I feel like I was kind. I feel like I was fair in the way that I assessed the things that they were saying. I agree with that sentiment. I think we should always be kind, and I think we should treat people with kindness. I think that if you are scamming people, though, that's not treating people with kindness. I don't know if they're scamming people. Again, I don't know what their story is. I know that their company is not as fair based on their compensation plan as they make it out to be. They might not be completely aware of this. I'm not sure what their position is in the company or how many people they've recruited. So again, I don't know anything really about them. But I do know that MLMs are not designed for everyone to win, and that's not kind. This was a long video. I will have to edit it. Hopefully I didn't go too long in the compensation plan. I was really wrapped up in the numbers. I got very into that for a minute. A little bit of hyper focusing from this ADHD, which if you like this kind of video, then please make sure that you're subscribed and like this video so that I know to make more like this. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.